Good afternoon, Pirate fans, and New Jersey hoops heads, and basketball fans all over. I'm JD Walker, and this is Stream Punk Sports, and we are now at halftime of the Garden State Hardwood Classic with Seton Hall men's basketball facing off against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And right now it's halftime. We have a score of Seton Hall 33 and Rutgers 27. This has gone about as perfectly as we can expect for Seton Hall so far. For those that don't know, I'm a Seton Hall grad. So while I don't hate Rutgers all the time, we'd love to cover Rutgers. If we have people in our fold who covers them, we got you. But anyway, for now, I'm here, and I'm slightly biased, but either way, I'll try my best at objectivity here. So, 33-27, Pirates on top of the Scarlet Knights at halftime, and the stats so far, we have Chauncey Jenkins leading Seton Hall with 8 points and two rebounds so far. Manny Okorafor has 4 rebounds, and Dylan Adewusu with 6 points, including a momentum-changing dunk. And for the Scarlet Knights, we have Ace Bailey leading the way with 15 points. He's a stud recruit along with Dylan Harper, who has 6 points. And Bailey has lived up to the hype so far. This has gone about as good as could be expected for the Pirates so far. This needed to be an ugly rock fight of a game in order for the Pirates to have a chance. And so far so good. This game needs to stay in the 60s. It doesn't need to be quite the 45-43 let's say eye-bleeding defensive affair from 2 years ago with Iraq, but so far the Pirates are getting things done. And feel free always. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Here are our socials below. I'm JD Walker SPM on Instagram. I'm still feeling that out right there. And Streampunk ENT on X is it covers for all our events. We cover Big East. We have some New York and Philly sports flavor. Thank you all for joining us. But comments, and we can chat on the air as well. It was originally supposed to be a co-host with me, but he tried to get his car inspected this morning and ended up having to do $1,500 of work. And unfortunately, Steve's still stuck over there. So have me running solo. There might be somebody joining for the second half. Just waiting to hear back on that. But feel free to comment and join us, like and subscribe. But 33-27 Seton Hall on top of Rutgers so far. This has been so with Dylan Adewusu with 6 points, Chauncey Jenkins with 8, and for those that don't know more about the history of this rivalry, there's you see right here on the shirt, the Garden State Hardwood Classic trophy, made out of reclaimed wood from the Asbury Park boardwalk that was damaged in Hurricane Sandy. So, I mean, depending on wherever you are in the country, college football, college basketball, everybody has their backyard rivalry. This isn't quite Carolina Duke, but for New Jersey, this is our little version, and it has similar kinds of weirdness. Friend of the show, Jerry Carino at the Asbury Park Press, has a great article that he goes over the history of the rivalry and the weirdest moments. This is the 75th meeting all time between these two teams. Currently Seton Hall has a 42-32 advantage in the series dating back to 1916. And but we're still waiting for the second half to start here. Comment, join in on discussion, like and subscribe. And this has been so far a bit of a disappointing out of conference slate for both teams. Seton Hall needs a win today in order to avoid their first losing out of conference record since 1983, the early PJ years. You know, the dark ages when Seton Hall was still getting adjusted to the Big Easts. It was pretty ugly back then. So now the Pirates sit at 5-5 with losses to Fordham, Hofstra, Vanderbilt, Monmouth, and Oklahoma State, and wins against St. Peter's, Wagner, VCU, and Florida Atlantic, and NJIT. And we're about 4 minutes from the start of the second half. And thank you all for joining us today. And some other highlights from the season so far. And another fun fact, with 74 meetings so far, this one being the 75th, as I mentioned before, Rutgers is Seton Hall's 8th most played opponent, and there's all kinds of crossover between both teams, including Seton Hall coach Shaheen Holloway and Rutgers assistant coach Brandon Knight being literal cousins. You know, and Brandon's dad was a great player in his own right for the Pirates back in the 70s. You know, but join us in the discussion. We're waiting for the second half to begin, and I'm expecting Rutgers to make some adjustments. And you know, my gut feeling is that Rutgers comes out fast in the second half to make some adjustments and probably get this back together pretty quickly. We will see. I believe something like, let's see, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but something like 20 of the last 25 meetings have been decided by 6 points or fewer in this matchup. It's always close, no matter how good or bad each one of these teams are. It is always a trip. Even when the teams are both bad, it's still entertaining. There have been times in this rivalry where even the coaches couldn't stand each other, and the coaches screaming at each other was sometimes more entertaining than the game. But we are coming into the start of the second half. Stats so far: 50% field goal percentage for both teams, 11 turnovers for Rutgers versus only 3 for Seton Hall. So Rutgers has 11 turnovers, most in any half this season for them so far, and Seton Hall has had 18 bench points to Rutgers 6 and 9 steals to Rutgers 1. The Pirates' calling card has been defense. Defense first, last, and always. Keep it low scoring, rock fights. This is how Shaheen Holloway's Seton Hall teams operate. Their offense is not the prettiest. Their offense is not the prettiest, but excuse me. Let me rephrase that. It's a little offensively challenged, but so far the Pirates seem to be getting it done, and there's been already a big improvement from the start of the season. And we are underway in the second half. Starting on the floor with Arewuso Aligbe, Manny Okorafor Dewal, and Isaiah Coleman for the Pirates, and looks like Davis, Harper, Bailey, Agbole, and Williams for Rutgers. Quick miss there. Now Rutgers coming back the other way. Bailey handling it on the perimeter. And Davis drives in for a layup. It's good. That's 35-29. Seton Hall leads with 19:02 left. And thank you all for joining us. Like and subscribe. Stream Punk Sports. 35-29. Admittedly, normally we have a producer with me handling a scroll underneath, and I am not that great at multitasking today, so I'm going to go low tech. And for those that are wondering, no, I cannot show a split screen. Otherwise, that'll get me and get us in some copyright trouble, and we don't want that. But for those that want to hear a little more or watch the game with me, chat with us in the comments. Ooh, nice one right there. Nice one right there. Dunked by Isaiah Coleman. So that's 37. So that is. All right. I was trying to stick to two colors, but to multiple colors, but it was a little too much. So here's where we're at right now. And already out of date as I hold it up. Another jumper, 39-29. Pirates on top by 10. Keep it locked with us right here. I see about 50 viewers so far. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. 39-29, 17:46 left in the game. Pirates on top by 10. And another layup underneath for Agbole for Rutgers. 39-31, 17:30 left. Ball control and defense is the name of the game here so far. Dewal over to Aligbe, over to Wusu. Back out to Coleman. Dewal from about the top right of the three-pointer, double teamed. Over to Aligbe. Pump fakes, drives down the middle. Is met in traffic. And they call him for travel before the foul. So that's another turnover for the Pirates. 17:02 left. And yeah, I don't know about that. It looked like they called that an offensive foul, but that was a 50-50. Could have gone either way. All right. And another miss by Rutgers. Rebound for the Pirates. Arewuso over to Dewal in the corner. Dewal holds up, then tries to drive and finds Okorafor underneath for the dunk. Pirates up by 10. 16:27 left in the second half. Yeah. All right. And Harper answers back with 3. So 41-34 with about 16 minutes left. apologies for the lack of the graphics here, and we have a dead ball there. So normally I would talk for the breaks, but we have a media timeout right here. So we have a timeout for a minute of 41-34. Seton Hall on top of Rutgers right now in the 2024 edition of the Garden State Hardwood Classic. 41-34. Seton Hall on top by 7. Right. All right. And a big thank you to everybody joining. Like and subscribe to us here at Stream Punk Sports, supporting Seton Hall basketball, Villanova basketball, Big East, New Jersey High School. That's my background. We have a team. We have a team of people. It's just hard to get. It's just a little difficult to get people to watch. With me. Everybody's got things to do during the holidays, but I see over 51 live viewers on all the platforms right now. Thank you all for joining us. This is best case scenario for the Pirates so far, and the only thing that you can ever expect in this rivalry is the unexpected. People getting punched. Weird calls by the refs, a headbutt that was once called just a little tap by an official. The esteemed Jim Burr, I believe, was the one behind that one, which was a rare time that Jim Burr actually called something in favor of the Pirates. But hey, Burr, who's now retired, was at least consistently bad. But anyway, we're currently sitting at the under 16 media timeout. I have the since normally Stream Punk covers as many of the home games as we can get to. I currently live down in the Philly area, so I don't make it up to as many home games at Prudential Center and or Walsh as I would like to, but I have lots of folks up there who do. We our photographer who would have come to the rack with me to take pictures of the game was actually at Walsh today covering the women's game. So we will have some pictures and video up on the channel from that later on this weekend. And normally we have press conference clips from home games for all the other teams that we cover. And you can check out our sister channel, Stream Punk Soccer and Stream Punk Combat. All right. And the TV feed coming back. We are going live shortly. I do have the live stat feed. Let me see if I can play around with the views here a little bit. I'm not able to get him up on the screen here. But anyway, thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon here with us. On a personal note, I will say I'm liking these Rutgers throwback uniforms that they brought out for this. The late 90s, early 2000s, the Jeff Billard, Quincy Doobie era. I was actually a manager on part of a staff of managers on the 2003-04 Seton Hall team, and and Marcus Toniel cited a player on that team. Talked a bit on the Jersey Jump Shot podcast. Great show by Jerry Carino and Stephen Edelson of the Asbury Park Press, where Marcus cited those two games in 04, where as some of the best in the rivalries. 20 years later, there's still some of my favorites as well. We have Harper trying to drive and gets fouled. 15:31 left in the second half. Now Dylan Harper going to the line for the Scarlet Knights. One of the weirdest things about this rivalry is the fact that with the nature of of college sports now, the players that come from all over the place, not as many of them are from New Jersey on either one of these teams. So the coaches need to kind of let everybody know why this game is such a big deal for fans, the alumni, the coaches, and everybody else. Harper goes 1 for 2 from the line, and Dylan Harper, of course, is one of the ones who does not need an education on this because his brother, Ron Harper Jr., of course, played in this rivalry. And as you'll see, the short that I posted on the channel earlier today, Harper, Dylan Harper got his start at the rack with Don Bosco Prep in the non-public A championship game. High arcing three-pointer by Coleman. And it was the other way. Volley, wow, falling down, makes that layup for Rutgers. 41-37. 41-37 Pirates on top of Scarlet Knights. 14:50 left. On the floor for Seton Hall, we have Dylan Adewusu, Ligbe, and whoops, let me check the other view. Apologies, I'm a little less polished today, trying to run solo here. Harper for 3, misses. Loose ball, and there's a loose ball foul foul called on Agole. So the ball going back Seton Hall's way. This rivalry is, even when these teams aren't that good, I love it. This rivalry should get more credit than it does, but I understand that none of the team is lighting it up. Rutgers on paper, and so far this year has been the better team. But throw everything out the window in this rivalry. Seton Hall's on top right now, 41-37, 14:05 left in the second half. Duell tries to feed a corner 4 for the dunk. 43-37, 13:52 left. Pirates on top of the Scarlet Knights. And we have Bailey coming down the other way for Rutgers and hitting a 3 from the corner, answering right back, closing the deficit back to 3. Bailey has 18 so far. Between Bailey and Harper, the two big studs coming in for Rutgers this year. Bailey has been living up to the hype. I haven't watched Rutgers much this year, but whoa, how is Bailey's going to do damage in the Big Ten? Pirates back the other way, and then Ligbe with the hook in for the layup. 45-40, Seton Hall on top. And Pirates have been dominating in the paint so far. 30 points to 18 in the paint. Bailey driving on a Ligbe, then throws up a prayer off the window, off balance. No. And then fight for the ball underneath, for they calling that a foul or a jump. And we have some words. Oh, it wouldn't be. Alrighty. 12:48 left in the second half. That's where all hell breaks loose, and we have players in each other's faces. It's not that bad, at least not by rivalry standards here, but it looked like Bailey put that up, and then you had Jenkins on the floor for the rebounds. Durkak went for it, and Durkak kind of stepped over. So but then Then you see Shaheen running halfway out on the floor, trying to get his players out of there, and before anything escalates. Good job by everybody there to keep things from escalating, as happens so many times over the years in this rivalry. Let's go to they're checking in with the official scorer, Danny Fishbane. That man is everywhere. Has been everywhere in college basketball in New Jersey and New York for the last 50 years. Jerry Carino of the Asbury Park Press just did a great story on him. But the officials are reviewing this play currently, so it gives me at least time to update the board here. We're kind of low on the low tech on the graphics here. My apologies, but yeah. Okay, Durkat came up with possession, but they're trying to say that there was a foul. Just this looks like a mess. But it's for those that are watching along with me. This is chaos right now, but low chaos in terms of Rutgers Seton Hall rivalry. But here's where we're at right now. 45-40. Pirates over the Scarlet Knights. Currently sitting at 12:48 left in the second half. It's going to be a while for an official review. All right. Are we getting an announcement? It will be just a common foul, I guess. All right. So we have that they end up calling that a regular shooting foul on Scotty Middleton. No technicals or any other anything else assessed. That's the way it should be. That was kind of a basketball play that went a little sideways, but wasn't necessarily anything malicious intent there. But they are calling. But they do say that Dirk Hack retained possession and that Middleton fouled him while going back up for the layup. So Dirk Hack goes to the line for two, makes the first. 45-41. Seton Hall on top of Rutgers. And Dirk Hack is one of the few locals from New Jersey on the floor for either one of these teams. Makes second, 45-42. Seton Hall on top. And Dual over to Ariane, back on the floor for the Pirates. Middleton to Jenkins. Yassine Toomey recently checked back into the game. Had a big three earlier. Back to Dual. Dual trying to drive, just finding a wall. Kicks it back out to Middleton for three. No. Dirk Hack with the rebound and tries to drive. Goes in and drives again and picks up the foul. So Dirk Hack back to the line again for Rutgers. 12-12 left, 45-42. Pirates on top of the Scarlet Knights with just over 12 minutes left to go. Looking at some of the other stat trends, we have Jenkins still the leading scorer for the Pirates with 8, and Ace Bailey running things for Scarlet Knights with 18 points, and Dylan Harper with 10. Bailey also chipping in 6 rebounds as well. Dirk Hack hooks up the second, and it's good. So 45-44. Rutgers has closed the gap down of 1. Adewusu dribbling near the block R for the Pirates. Guarded by Davis. Over to Jenkins. Jenkins tries to feed Ariane, and he's fouled. So Godswill Ariane. I know I'm butchering that name. I'm trying my best to learn that. Will be going to the line for Rutgers, for Seton Hall rather, when the game comes back. It is the under 12 media timeout. 11:49 left in the second half. Pirates on top, 45-44. And thank you all for joining us. Like and subscribe, Stream Punk Sports. You can see our writing at our website, streampunkent.com, which we have relaunched. We also cover soccer, lacrosse, wrestling. We also have a cinema channel, Stream Punk Cinema, that we're talking about movies, pop culture, anime. Check it out. And thank you all for joining us today. Pirates, and I'm trying to show that my friend of mine got me this for my birthday. Found that it's 1980s Getty glass, part of the Big East series. Found it at a yard sale for just a few bucks. Love it. But yeah, this is I'll say that this is the kind of rivalry that makes a lot of fans from both teams want to drink. Put it that way. All right. Let me update the board here. All right. $45-44 at the under 12 media timeout. Jump in the comments, and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Yeah, we're just in a commercial right now. I wasn't planning on flying solo with this, but I'm flattered that so many of you folks out there are still watching the game with me. Normally we have a writer or photographer in the arena, but considering that the rack, I refuse to call that place Jersey Mike's Arena, crumbling concrete trapezoid of death. However whatever you're in the mood for. But thank you everybody for out there for joining us. Yeah. But anyway, we are about to resume action here. Yeah, it's a show us the sink the Pirates sign. That is a really cool drawing that that fan did with basketballs, his cannonballs on the pirate ship here. Props for the art skills. But we're about to resume the action here. As they show the stats on the screen, home court advantage for Rutgers, 70th straight sold-out regular season game, and a 73-19 record for the Scarlet Knights in the rack since the 2019-20 season, and 5-0 at the rack so far this season. Ariane going to the line. That is interesting free throw form. That's a 0 for 2 from the line. just that I don't have words for that player's form from the free throw line. It is not like anything I've ever seen before. But free throw shooting has been the Achilles heel for the Pirates so far this season, and is a factor of their 5-5 record. They win at least 2 of those games if they make free throws at a normal rate. Still 45-44, Pirates on top here. 11:29 left in the second half. I'm trying to run this solo like Warner Friselli did back in the day. He used to do radio solo. He didn't have a color commentary, just like Chick Hearn. I know anybody watching on these platforms younger than 50 has no idea who I'm talking about. I'm just a student. I'm a history buff. So we're all right. Back in action here. Bailey turnaround jumper. No good. Fights underneath for the rebound. Seton Hall comes out with it. Dylan Adewusu bringing it up the court quickly. Tries to drive. Kicks it out to Jenkins in the corner. Jenkins looks and brings it back on the outside. Over to Toomey. Toomey trying to drive. 10 left on the shot clock. And they call Toomey for a travel. Shaw's not happy. Shaw's rarely happening. They just show Shaw and Dylan Adewusu's face there. Very intense coach. But thank you to all of you on all the platforms out there watching the game with us. .50. Inbound to Harper, falling down. And makes a layup while falling down, and Rutgers takes a lead. That is Rutgers' first lead of the game since it was 3-2. And Holloway quickly takes his timeout. All right, 10:41 left. We have Rutgers 46, Seton Hall 45. Harper with 12, Bailey with 18. And Seton Hall has not scored for the last 2.5 minutes. So Seton Hall had a good by their standards first half run, but we are now in a 6-0 run for Rutgers that has given the Scarlet Knights the lead with 10:41 left to go. Scarlet Knights on top with, hope I got that good enough here. Feel free to join us, like and subscribe. Thank you for all of your support. All right. Thank you everybody for joining me. We're at 10:41 left. The under 12 media timeout. Seton Hall going in one of their trademark scoring droughts. 0 points for the last 2.5 minutes. The only thing expected in this rivalry is the unexpected. But momentum has swung back in favor of the Scarlet Knights over the last few minutes. Defense is turned on with two straight turnovers, some less than perfect basketball plays, let's say. But while we are waiting for the game to return here, let me scroll through the notes here. But for the Pirates, the Pirates are 5-5 so far. They do not have their biggest win of the out of conference slate so far was against VCU. They have yet to defeat a Power 4 or Power 5 basketball, meaning we'll call them the Football 4 conferences. The Seton Hall has yet to beat anybody from any of the Football 4 conferences, including their last time out in the Big East Big 12 Challenge, where they fell 85-76. And for as much as we return to the broadcast on TV here, for as much as Bailey has been pacing Rutgers so far, they are +9 when Dylan Harper is in the game versus -8 when Harper is on the bench. So we return back to game action here. 10:36 left to go. Pirates with possession. And Adewuso puts a three up from the top. No, Rutgers comes down with a long rebound. Not really a good look, but Rutgers defense was not allowing any penetration on that play there. Rutgers coming back down, and Seton Hall steals the ball. Agbale's pass is tipped and intercepted by Coleman, so back the other way for the Pirates. Adewusu over to Coleman, then to Toomey on the left side. 12 on the shot clock. Toomey puts up the mid-range jumper and makes it. The Pirates retake the lead. 9:40 left in the second half. 47-46 Pirates. I was expecting a discussion today and some comments, but it ended up being a solo play-by-play thing. And I thank you all for joining me. Harper for 3, and it's good. And 49-47, Rutgers back on top. 9:10 left in the second. Adewusu bringing the ball up over to Jenkins, back over to Adewusu. Adewusu tries to drive himself, has an open path to the basket, and then tries to kick it out to Jenkins, and they call him for a travel. I'm not sure what they were going for there. But, again, they're showing Harper on the line. You cannot sweat anybody on this team here. 8:45 left. Rutgers with the ball. Williams in the corner. Back over to Harper. Harper drives. Takes an off-balance jumper, but Durkak is there for the offensive rebound and put back. 51-47 Rutgers. Pirates are losing momentum fast here. Only 3 points in their last 3 points in the last 5 minutes here. And Wusu again. That was Jenkins. I'm sorry. Jenkins trying to drive, and he ends up being called for travel. back to the Scarlet Knights again. The whatever offensive flow that the Pirates had in the first half is just gone now. They need Duval back on the court, and that's the biggest difference here. And Bailey going up for the rebound, blocked. Huge block for the Pirates there. Wusu trying to drive and loses the ball. Picked back up by Okorafor. Toomey for 3. We got, and we're back, closing it back to 1. Yassine Toomey with 10 points off the bench for the Pirates so far. 51-50 Rutgers over Seton Hall currently. Rutgers drives. Somerville puts up a wild layup that does not go in. Coleman bringing it back up for the Pirates, slowing it down a little bit. 7:08 left in the second half. Jenkins slowing it down. 13 on the shot clock. Still not able to find an opening. Kicks it back out to Toomey for a straight up 3. Off by a lot. Williams coming back for Rutgers. Over to Durkak. Pump fakes and drives the lane and gets fouled. It was a core. Durkak just drove right into a core 4 there. I believe they called the foul on a core 4, but that's 6:39 left in the second half. We'll get the under 8-minute media timeout. Rutgers on top of Seton Hall so far in the Garden State Hardwood Classic. 6:50 left to go. And we have another media timeout here. The games in the rack are always the craziest. And quite a few of you are still watching with me. Thank you all for joining. For Rutgers so far, this has been the Ace Bailey show. 18 points, but he had 15 in the first half, and there's only 3 so far in the second half. So the Pirates have been able to keep Bailey in check, but their offense stalled. This team, when Garby Duval is on the court, handling the ball and trying to run the offense, it's a completely different team versus when Dylan Adewusu is forced into running the point. And that's nothing against Dylan Adewusu. It's more of just a square peg that keeps getting and ended up going in a round hole and doesn't always work out. Trying to play with some of the views here. All right, let me pull up some stats for pull up a full list of stats from the Pirates to go over. The only Pirate in double figures so far is Yassine Toomey with 10 points off the bench. Then you have Chauncey Jenkins with 8 off the bench. Out of the starters, you have Dylan Adewusu, Prince Aligbe, and Manny Okorafor, each with 6. Garby Duval with 5. And Isaiah Coleman with 4. And Scotty Middleton also off the bench with 5 points. Godswill Eheriene and Gus Yalden both came off the bench for a little bit with no points. But Seton Hall has 23 bench points and 30 points in the paint. But they haven't had any points in the paint in a good while, as Rutgers has adjusted their defense. The game coverage is coming back on here. So thank you all for joining me on a Saturday afternoon. You know, as we're talking about the Garden State Hardwood Classic, Seton Hall at Rutgers, in a sold-out rack. This game sells out every year. I believe it's like 9 consecutive sellouts, excluding, actually, no, there was no game in the COVID year that almost threatened the rivalry. I forgot about that. But Dylan Harper, 15 points. The first half is the Ace Bailey show. The second half has been more of the Dylan Harper show for the Scarlet Knights. And Garvey Dewell is currently where the fouls. He has 2 fouls. So it isn't a foul trouble issue for Dewell. So we have Dewell back on the court now. All right. So hopefully rested up for the stretch run now. Pike is going nuts over that last call just now. But we've had 5 lead changes in this game. Seton Hall's largest lead was 10. And then, all right, we have Rutgers driving back and another miss. Dewell with the rebound. Going fast for the Pirates down the other way, and Coleman for the layup as the Pirates retake the lead, 52-51, 5:55 left in the second half. And we are, and again, I was just saying, this is a completely, it's been night and day so far for this team today. When Garvey Dewell is on the court versus when he's been on the bench. He is a difference maker for this Pirates team. As for Rutgers, we have Ace Bailey back at the line for the Scarlet Knights for a 1-on-1. He misses the first. Coleman with the rebound for the Pirates. That's a huge miss for Bailey right there. That could have, this is a huge possession for the Pirates to shift momentum back in their favor. Core 4 bounce pass into Coleman. Back out to Dewell. Dewell drives and is not fouled, but the ball is knocked out of bounds, and the Pirates retain possession with 7 on the shot clock. 5:23 left in the second half. Yeah. Dewell was, Dewell had that shot up before, and it was blocked. Core 4 for 3. And a loose ball foul underneath, the ball going Rutgers' way. 5:15 left, 52-51. Seton Hall on top of Rutgers here. And that foul was on Scotty Middleton, his 5th. So Scotty Middleton is done for the night. Rutgers has 0 field goals over the last 3-11. So but yeah, we have fouls for the that was 5 points for Middleton as he fouls out. He's done for the day. Harper at the line for Rutgers. He makes the first. Harper going up for the second. And he makes them both. Rutgers back on top, 53-52. These games are almost always close. And Rutgers takes the timeout here. All right, so All right, so 5:15 left in regulation. Rutgers on top of Seton Hall, 53-52. Harper has 17 points, and Bailey has 18 to lead Rutgers, and Yassine Toomey leads Seton Hall with 10. We have Tim Brando. We have the great Tim Brando on the call for Rutgers today. For Fox with Donnie Marshall on the as it's a great professional crew there. Tim Brando been working in the Big East forever. Met him at Big East Media Day last season. Great guy. All right. So apparently they extended that into a full media timeout, but just decided to kill time instead of commercials there. But we are coming back shortly. But we are back underway here. 1 tie and 7 lead changes. Seton Hall had a 10-point lead at one point. Now Rutgers is up by 1. Duval coming back, and so it's a long pass underneath to a Okorafor who misses the layup. Harper bringing it back the other way for Rutgers. Passes underneath to Somerville, who's fouled. Let's see how many fouls we got. That is the 9th team foul, so it'll be 1-1. So it's still single bonus, 1-1 for Somerville. Lathan Somerville has only 1 point. Lathan Somerville misses the first. All right, they do. All right, since that's a shooting foul, that is, they do give him 2 shots. Apologies, but the next one will be 10. So they're in double. So Rutgers will be in double bonus the rest of the way. Somerville makes his second, 54-52. Rutgers on top. Adewusu bringing the ball up for the Pirates. Over to Duval. Back over to Okorafor, hanging out outside the 3-point line. Inside into Coleman, into Okorafor for the dunk. We are tied at 54. .410 left. Game tied at 54. Harper driving for Rutgers, gets another layup, and Rutgers back on top, 56-54. 4 minutes left in regulation. Second half has been all Dylan Harper, who's now the leading scorer for Rutgers with 19 points. Bailey had 15 in the first half, but it's been the Harper show in the second half for Rutgers. Seton Hall keeping up however they can. Duval trying to find an opening for the Pirates. Coleman for 3, and he makes it. Lead changes again. Back to the Pirates, 57-56. 3:25 left in the second half here. Coleman has had a bit of a slower day by his standards, only 9 points and 3 rebounds so far. And then Bailey for 3, a dagger for Rutgers. Back up 59-57. 21 points for Bailey. And Shaheen Holloway has seen enough and takes the timeout. 59-57. Rutgers on top of Seton Hall with 3:10 left, heading into the last media timeout here as we go back to commercial. I don't have commercials yet, but we are accepting sponsors. So if you want us to make one for you, we can do that. We have folks in our company with Hollywood experience and film stuff even better than I do, and can film professional commercials for you. So that's our literal commercial plug. But thank you all for joining us. This is the Garden State Hardwood Classic. I should update my board here, I guess. Update my state-of-the-art graphics. Is 3:10 left. Rutgers on top, 59-57 right now. The magic number for the Seton Hall Pirates is usually 60. Usually it's 60 because the Pirates are not a very strong offensive team, but they win games in rock fights when they can. And they won 43 in a game 2 years ago here. Looked like we were getting more of that, and the first half definitely followed that trend. But then while they had Ace Bailey and everybody else kept in check, now we have Dylan Harper for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And the Pirates are bending, not quite breaking, but the last few minutes has been a back and forth after Seton Hall was in for the first half and in the early part of the second half. $57-59 here, just waiting for the TV to come back. Thank you all for joining us. Like and subscribe to us. Here's my socials below here. And we have, and what shows, and there was lots of jokes this week about, if Fox was regretting picking up this game, Big Fox, Channel 5, Channel 29, wherever you are, the local Fox network, on national TV. This normally is not a national TV game, but it's actually lived up to the hype so far. It always does. Strange things happen in this rivalry as we've been over a few times here. So coming back for the stretch run here, Rutgers once again, Rutgers on top, 59-57. And we've had 7 lead changes in the last 7.5 minutes. These games are usually close. I believe of 20 of the last 25 matches have been decided by 6 points or less. All right. Let's roll. Jenkins handling the ball for the Pirates here. Jenkins with the turnaround, loses the ball, and Davis with the steal and dunk down the other end. But I believe they called a foul first. Let's see I'm not sure what the call was there, but they actually did not credit Rutgers with the basket there. Oh, okay. They said that it was a foul on Duval first. So now JaMychal Davis is going to the line for the Scarlet Knights. Misses the first. 2:44 left. 2:44 left so far here. Rutgers 59, Seton Hall 57. Puts up the second, misses them both. Seton Hall coming back the other way. Garby Dewall walking up the ball, attempting to figure out an offense. Throws a dangerous pass to Coleman that is tipped, but Coleman does gain the handle of it back. Back over to Dewall. Dewall hands off to Jenkins. Still have not crossed the three-point line. Over to Dylan Adewusu. 4 on the shot clock. Tries to drive, puts it up. Puts up a wild one, and no. Rutgers gets a much-needed stop. 2:05 left. Harper trying to drive. Finds a brick wall. Tries to pass it back out. And Nobody there. Turnover. Back to the Pirates' way. Just under 2 minutes. 1:59 left. Rutgers on top, 59-57. Harper was trying to drive, but found a core four, and Dylan Adewusu collapsed on him for a double team, and he tried to find the outlet pass back out. Okay, I believe we have a replay review here. Then now they originally called it Seton Hall ball, but they might be. Looks like they might have. They think that Dylan Adewusu might have tipped it, and since we're at 1:59, it is reviewable since it is within the last 2 minutes. So the officials are going to a video review for this one. So we've free timeout for both teams here. Let's go back over the box score here while we're waiting. Both teams have been pretty consistent. 51% shoot, and around 50% shooting. Except the Pirates have had way worse luck from three-point land compared to the Scarlet Knights. Scarlet Knights 6 for 12 compared to the Pirates 5 for 17. That is the big difference in this game so far. Both teams are brutal with free throws. Pirates are 2 for 9, and Rutgers is 11 for 22. This is a completely different game if either of these teams are making free throws. Seton Hall ball. Coleman puts up a mid-range floater. It's back rim. And foul called on Bailey? Somerville. Okay, so Pirates retain possession. 20 left on the shot clock. 1:46 left. Inbounding from underneath the basket. Dewall setting up the inbound. Taking our time here. Left hands the ball to Dewall, looking for the inbound. Dewall to Jenkins in the corner, puts it up quickly and misses. Loose ball foul, and they call that a foul on Seton Hall. Or they may have been calling that, or did they call that a foul, or they may have called that a... Yeah. All right, so Rutgers is going in the line. Currently up 2. Lathan Somerville heading in the line for the Scarlet Knights. Free throw shooting hasn't been the greatest for either team so far. Somerville 1 for 2 so far tonight. Makes the first. .141 left in the game. Still time for either team to make a move here. Somerville makes a second. Rutgers up 4 with 1:41 left. Seton Hall ball with 2 timeouts left. Rutgers in the double bonus, which has been huge down the stretch. Jenkins trapped over to Adewusu. Coleman trying to drive. Puts it down the lane, throws up a wild one. No. A core four with the offensive rebound. And he is fouled. I believe they called that a foul on the floor, so he is not going to the line. 1:19 left. Rutgers up 61-57. Holloway's histrionics is trying to call out the play. Duell again trying to inbound for the Pirates. Finds Coleman. Coleman trying to drive. Fouled again. They calling that a foul on the floor. Rutgers has a few fouls to give here, so they're probably using him. Right, and that was the 7th team foul, so I believe Coleman is going in the line here. 1:14 left, 61-57 Rutgers. Isaiah Coleman going in the line for the Pirates. Puts up the first and makes it 61-58. Free throws have been a big struggle for the Pirates so far this season, and that puts Coleman in double digits. He joins Yassine Toomey with 10, both with 10 points, as the only Pirates in double figures so far tonight. Coleman puts up the second one, hits it back in the front of the rim and rolls it and gets the roll. 61-59. Rutgers is up by 2. They get the ball inbound. Seton Hall with a light 3/4 court press here. They get over the timeline. Harper with the ball over by the R, just trying to dribble out some time. Take some time off the shot clock here. 10 seconds left. Harper makes his move. Takes a mid-range jumper. Fade away and makes it. 63-59. That was a tough one for the Pirates there. Huge for the Scarlet Knights. 21 points for Harper. 43 seconds left. Pirates coming down. Coleman with a 3. Front rim, no good. Rebound for Harper and a foul. And that might do it here. This has been a battle. Everybody, myself included, was giving Seton Hall really not much of a chance today. But they were in control for most of the first half, but Dylan Harper turned it on the second half, and the Pirates haven't had that much of an answer. So we have 33 seconds left. Rutgers with the ball up by 4. Excuse me, getting a low battery message here. So thank you all for joining us. Just doing the final seconds down the stretch here for the Garden State Hardwood Classic. Seton Hall was up by as many as 10. Harper misses the first free throw. Durkak checks back into the game for Rutgers, and Toomey comes back in for Seton Hall. Yeah, Harper had 6 points in the first half and 15 in the second half. That's the difference here. Misses the second free throw, so Pirates signs of life for the Pirates here. Adeusu with the ball down by 4, 10-second difference, 13 seconds. Go a quick drive. Usu puts it up and misses. Coleman with the offensive rebound and the putback. 63-61. We're making things interesting here. Pirates will not go down without a fight. They rarely do. They were getting blasted by 25 in the first half by Oklahoma State the other day, and came back and only lost, but had a down to, I believe, 5 at one point, ended up losing by 9. So for this one, we are 19.3 seconds left. I should update my board. (63-61) Rutgers. 19.3 seconds left. Rutgers ball. Rutgers with the possession now. 1 timeout for each team. 2 ties and 9 lead changes in this game. Most of it was in the second half, because the Pirates were leading for most of the first 30 minutes or so of this game. Durkak trying to inbound. Just barely gets it inbounds to Bailey, who is promptly fouled. Takes it less than a second. So we have Rutgers. So Rutgers goes to the line with 18.8 seconds left. And so on the floor for Rutgers, we have Durkak, Davis, Harper, Bailey, and Williams. And then for the Pirates, we have Adewusu, Jenkins, Toomey, Coleman, and Duell. Bailey going in line for 2. Bailey misses the first. Signs of life for the Pirates. Rutgers has scored 66 points in every game this season. They average 79.7 for the season. Pirates have held them to 63 so far today. Bailey puts up the second, misses it. All right, Pirates with a chance here. Adewusu over to Duell, chaos. Coleman tries to drive, it hits every part of the rim, and no. Coleman tries to put it back. Do they call a foul there? I'm not sure what that was. But Coleman's going in line. Is Coleman going in line? Yes, Coleman is going in line. Coleman drew the foul. 63-61 Rutgers, 6.4 seconds left. Coleman is the line for 2 massive free throws for Seton Hall. Coleman puts up the first, makes it 63-62. Somerville checks back into the game for Rutgers. Coleman setting up for the second one. Coleman for the tie. He makes it. We are all tied up. 6.4 seconds left. Rutgers has a timeout left. Are they going to use it? This is coming down to the wire here. No matter how good or bad either of these teams are, this always comes down to the end. And Rutgers uses that timeout to try and draw up what they're going to do here. 6.4 seconds left. Rutgers with the ball and a chance to win this in regulation, or we'll see if the Pirates come back with a miracle or if we're going to overtime. Wow. This never a dull moment in this rivalry. Wow. So 6.4 seconds left to go here. Second half has been all Dallin Harper and Rutgers. Harper has, I believe, 16 points since halftime. Then Coleman finally waking up a little bit towards the end of a bit of offense for the Pirates. He's the only Pirates starter in double figures so far. Yassine Toomey also has 10 off the bench. Jenkins is playing pretty well off the bench so far too. But 15 points and six rebounds for Isaiah Coleman. All right, here we go. Rutgers getting ready to inbound. All right, we have Dirkak setting up under the basket here. Center of the basket, setting up a long ball. And instead, he goes in short to Harper, who's going to try and take it coast to coast. Harper takes one from the Jersey Mike's logo and makes it! Rutgers with the buzzer beater. Dylan Harper with a three-pointer from the Jersey Mike's Arena logo as time expires. 66-63. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights take a tough one in the Garden State Hardwood Classic. This rivalry is always nuts. 66-63. The game was tied, and Dylan Harper just took it coast to coast. Coast to not quite coast. And puts up the game-winning three-pointer. Unbelievable. Gut-wrenching loss for the Pirates after leading most of this game. The Seton Hall Pirates finished their out-of-conference record at 5-6. And it was good. That shot was good by a lot. Harper put it up with 1.5 seconds left. It was not even close. Duval was very late, coming in with the close to try and have to eat. How? From a defensive standpoint, how is there not somebody in Harper's shorts the whole way up? All right. So that's final Piscataway. And the first time for the Rutgers getting back-to-back wins against Seton Hall since 2013. That's 11 games. That was the last year in the Big East that both of these teams were in the Big East. 2013, when both teams were absolute crap. Rutgers beat Seton Hall twice that year. This is our final. Game-winning three-point shot for Dylan Harper as time expires. Rutgers has won 2 straight in the Garden State Hardwood Classic. Rutgers now is 7-4 heading into it is now 7-4 on the season. Seton Hall is 5-6 for their first losing record in out-of-conference play since 1983. And they open up Big East play at Villanova on Tuesday. Hopefully, I will be in the building at the Pavilion for that one. We'll probably hear back from them on Monday. That'll be my closest commute since I'm now in the Philly area. But that was brutal. Absolutely. I mean, happy with that performance just for the fact that it was tough the whole game, but Seton Hall not being able to close that one out is just gut-wrenching. But just Dylan Harper, 24 points. Dylan Harper, 24 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 turnovers. Ace Bailey, 21 points, 7 rebounds. And that's 45 points right there out of the 66 between 2 players. Rutgers only 2 players. And for Seton Hall, we have Isaiah Coleman leading all scorers, 15 points on 5 for 14 shooting. He was key down the stretch to even keep the Pirates in this. Dylan Adewusu and Prince Aligbe each had 6. Manny Okoro 4 with 8. Garwi Duval with 5. Scotty Middleton with 5 off the bench and fouled out. Chauncey Jenkins 8 off the bench. Scotty Middleton with 5 and fouled out. And Yassine Toomey with 10 points off the bench for the Pirates. And for the Scarlet Knights, the Harper and Bailey show as always. And aside from them, the third leading scorer was Jordan Durkak off the bench with 9. And those are some clutch plays that Durkak had off the bench there. But this was a great win for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights here. They are not the nationally ranked good that has been promised so far, but this team definitely makes some noise in the Big Ten and still has a shot at the tournament if they do what they're supposed to do in the Big Ten. Seton Hall, this is about development. This is a development season, and while this team will be better at the end for Seton Hall will be better at the end of the season than the beginning. This is usually the case with Shaheen Holloway's teams through St. Peter's and here at Seton Hall. It might take a bit for them to get used to the Big East. We'll see where we're at. I'm hopeful, but this was a tough one. But I'm glad the Pirates kept this as close as they did, and they had as much control of this game as they did. That shows it once again. You cannot count out this Pirates team. And they were picked 10th. I think they'll finish better than 10th. Right now, I'll give them maybe 8th. But I'll say 6-14 in the Big East. They're going to knock off somebody. They've beaten UConn the last 2 years, and while I don't know if they're going to do that, again, this Pirates team will still knock off somebody, and they'll be back. This isn't a complete loss, and while it's hard, it's always hard as a Seton Hall fan losing to Rutgers. This one, the way they lost this one, to be expected. Don't leave Harper open. Not much else to say. Anyway, I'm JD Walker, and let's wrap this up here. Where's my board here? All right, I dropped the board here. But 66-63 was the final. Rutgers over. Here we go. 66-63 final. Rutgers over Seton Hall. First time that Rutgers has won 2 straight victories in the Garden State Hardwood Classic since it was rechristened as such in 2015. In 2014, 2015, I forget when the rivalry restarted after the 2013 Big East reboot. But in that final year of the old Big East, sad sack Rutgers team beat a sadder sack Seton Hall team twice. This is the first time since then that Rutgers has won 2 straight against Seton Hall. But on paper, Rutgers is a better team. Rutgers has Bailey and Harper. Seton Hall does not. And that was the difference today. JD Walker, thanks to all of you for joining us here. Check out our other coverage here on Streampunk Sports, and check out our other channels: Streampunk Combat, Streampunk Lacrosse, Streampunk Cinema. And my brain's a little slow. I know I'm forgetting one. Lacrosse was the newest one we just added, and Canadian football coverage. We're getting involved in a little bit of everything. And we hope you join us for the ride. So, we'll wrap this up here. JD Walker signing off. We'll be back signing off, and go Pirates.